This is our tidal channel. It receives tidal flow twice a day, high tide, twice a day, low tide. So it's called the salt pan because in the winter it fills up with rain. As the water evaporates, the salt remains. So hundreds and hundreds of years of accumulation of salty there and the little invertebrates that live there. Let's see if we can make it. This platform was an Eagle Scout project. Pretty cool. So that's community engagement. Parking lot, but here they have food, water, and shelter. So we have lots of birds just stopping, passing through and making this a stopover like a hotel. Okay, shall we?
That's a great idea.
Every one of those holes has got a little crab in it. See little water insects skitching on the water? They can walk on water. They live in there. And if we were standing here long enough and patient enough, they would creep out to see what was going on.
Oh, look. Oh my God. Oh my God. Thank you.
The rain was Wednesday night. So like I'm saying, that water is flowing. The groundwater is flowing and winding up here. When I was here on Thursday, that footprint, this far footprint, there was no water in it. So the water's flowing down and coming up. This water's coming from underground, not above. We only got a 1/4 inch of rain. There's a good 3 inches in the deeper parts. This is proof positive, guys. There's fresh water galore underneath our feet. Before we channelized all of our rivers and streams, 85% of the rain that fell percolated back down and replenished the earth. Only 15% went out to the ocean. Now it's flipped in paved areas. 85% just shoots into those storm drains. It's unfiltered. It goes into our concrete-lined rivers and creeks and out to the ocean as polluted form. Only 15% of the rain that we get goes back into the ground, which is why we import our water from hundreds and hundreds of miles away. So if we had more permeable surfaces like sponge, you know, like decomposed gravel, parking lots that are not paved, and they're doing that now. It's starting. We're starting. We would be a whole lot more green throughout Los Angeles. We are not a desert at all. We're a Mediterranean climate. So this is just awesome. This is proof that the water is coming up and it's present. And we're gonna see more of that as we go on. And in real heavy rain years, we get tadpoles in here. They need fresh water. We get all kinds of aquatic invertebrates. Does everyone love dragonflies? Yes. What do dragonfly larvae eat in the water? Mosquito larvae. What do adult dragonflies eat? Mosquitoes. So if you want to have dragonflies, you need fresh water and you need to put up with a few mosquitoes. All right, another adaptation I want to talk about. This is saltgrass, not regular grass. So saltgrass, if I put a houseplant in salt water, it's going to go, right? Does that look like it's going, no, it's nice and green. If you touch it, it's gonna feel gritty. That is not dirt, that's salt. So you are more than welcome to give the saltgrass a little rub, and your fingers will be incredibly salty if you do that. So it takes up the water it needs, pushes out the salt that it doesn't, to its surface through little things called stoma, like pores. Just like when we sweat, when we're running, perspiration comes out of the little pores in our skin. Same thing, the salt's coming out of little pores on the surface of this grass. And our city mockingbirds, ones that are really, really urban, they imitate the sound of car alarms. So we're at the intersection of the dune system, the pickleweed, salt marsh, and then right here is that riparian freshwater section I mentioned. We're gonna walk right through it. These houses are built on sand dunes. Okay, there's a double row of dunes. There was historically one at the beach, then the lagoon, Del-Rey Lagoon, and then another row of sand dunes, and then the marsh. Del-Rey Lagoon used to be connected to the lagoon in Marina Del Rey, was one giant lagoon. This system also, since we don't get huge rainstorms every year, a lot of times a sandbar would develop across the lagoons. So again, this was a lot of fresh water backed up, and then we'd get a huge giant storm, it would break open the sandbar, and then ocean water would flow through. But it wasn't all the time that there was ocean water flowing through. A lot of years, this was a lot of fresh water backed up. And this is a remnant. ecosystem. Clearly there's an underground stream. You can see how it runs. It runs straight through here. It submerges and then picks up again closer to the south. Willow. The Native Americans use these to frame their homes. They're very flexible. Why? They're full of water. This is a brand new willow tree. No one planted this. This volunteered. That means that the seeds from the willow tree, one fell here and this grew. No one watered this. It came up on its own. This is the right habitat for it. The Native Americans use willows for all kinds of things, including pain reliever. This is in the salix family, S-A-L-I-X. Aspirin is salicylic acid. So if you were a Tonga with a toothache, you would have cut a little bit of a willow root and chewed on it and your toothache would go away. Type of juncus. So once again, native plants are adapted to survive without any water from outside sources, and this is doing just fine. Well, the sand in the ocean, the parent material comes from
The rocks.
which is why damming our rivers and streams is also problematic, because you're preventing gravel coming down into the ocean to replenish the sand.
Right.
Yeah. The ray, these things are like little landing strips for the pollinators, right? That's right. They're beckoning. They're like, come in here. And the bees and other insects go, ship, and they slide in and get a little nectar for their breakfast. One of them gets a little brave and creeps out and sees daylight for the very first time. And then the parents say, come on kids, you got to learn how to fly and how to catch fish, because we have thousands of miles that we need to fly in about a month. Some belted kingfishers winter in Venezuela. We have a pair that comes here every winter, and that's one of them right down there. So that's pretty exciting. And she's just perched there. What's she looking for? Fish, of course. She's a kingfisher. Chapters. Los Angeles Audubon is a chapter. We are, as I say, a small but mighty chapter. We only have 5 paid full-time staff. We do not have a brick and mortar office. When we're not working on site, we're working out of our homes. Some chapters truly are birding clubs still, whereas most people who just want to come and bird with each other. Our chapter is extremely focused on education, which is why I'm here, and conservation and restoration. We've done tremendous work. We're doing restoration of the Baldwin Hills Scenic Overlook, which is east, adjacent to Culver City. I recommend highly you go there. It was to be a housing development. Neighbors fought it off, and now it is California, one of California's newest state parks, great visitor center, and all the plantings that you see in front of the visitor center at the top of the hill were done under the leadership of Margot Griswold, who's the president of our board. So LA Audubon, we do a whole lot on a budget of about $400,000 a year. So all the outreach, the restoration, all these school tours we do on a shoestring, but we serve thousands of people every year, and we're very proud of that. We also do bird walks, because our philosophy is that if people don't know about it, they don't care about it. If you don't care about it, you don't want to save it. We are now at the tide gates that allow tidal flow in and out of the wetlands. Ballona Creek, and remember, from Centinela down, it's all muddy bog. So the cormorants are not as buoyant as some of the ducks. The ducks that just tip their little bottoms up, those are called dabbling ducks. The ones that are able to dive with the denser bones are diving ducks.
Very often when I'm out here bird watching and I'm standing with my binocular, John coughing pops into my face. And he just loves this place, so yeah, check out his photo.
You, pregnant fish, takes a ride in on the high tide, does the wiggle, deposits your eggs. Do the female fish stay with their eggs and take care of their babies? No, they do not. The next low tide, she's out of there to continue her life in the sea. And that's why we need those tiny invertebrates, those little mini crustaceans. So then we'll survive, immature, and join their parent out in the ocean. So we need these wetlands for birds, for fish, for invertebrates, for insects, for butterflies, for spiders. Everybody uses these wetlands. And Area A, which is on the other side, on the Fiji side, that too has vibrant life. I see all kinds of birds in there. Again, in the winter, ponds, fairy shrimp, little frogs, Pacific forest frogs. And if we have a good rainy winter, when you're driving down Culver at night, do me a favor, turn off your radio, get off the phone, roll down the windows, and you will be amazed at the singing of the Pacific forest frogs. It is so loud and it's so beautiful.